Hi, I'm Dianna Donnelly. Welcome to Words on Herbs, podcast number 1, where Miranda and I discuss the power of herbs like cannabis in our everyday, daily lives. Have you ever wondered what makes some strains uplifting? Have you ever wondered where to begin your home garden? Have you ever wondered how to get that bud into something edible in a hurry? You found the right podcast. Welcome and stay tuned.
Thank you, Dianna, and thank you, everybody, for joining us here today on our first episode of our new podcast, Words on Herbs. I am Miranda Hawryliw, and I am just so dang grateful to be sitting here with Dianna Donnelly as we discuss all things cannabis. There is a lot to talk about, right? I am sure that many of you have a ton of questions, maybe even concerns. And one of the things that I love most about cannabis is its ability to bring people together. And that is why Dianna and I are here and will be here every week so that we can not only talk about our experiences and our journey, but yours.
I started my day off with a little bit of a pre-roll. I didn't smoke very much of it, though. I just wanted a little bit. I took my CBD with my coffee, and I actually smoked the rest of my pre-roll right before we got on call here. I feel less anxious. I feel more focused. Yeah. And what about you, Dianna?
Yeah, I'm terrible. So the taste of cannabis smoked or vaped with my coffee kind of ruins the taste of the coffee. So I haven't really medicated yet, although I medicated last night, which may have a little bit of overhang. But it's interesting how CBD we know is an anxiolytic, but THC is as well in smaller doses, I think. But, there is something to pinpointing that dose, and that is a big struggle I think that all users are having, is finding the perfect amount. So
it is really challenging, and it's hard to even give advice about that because every single person is different. And you see that some people can, like my mom, for example, she'll take between 2.5 milligrams and 5 milligrams, and she's good. Whereas if I were to take an edible, and edibles are, legalized now, so there's going to be more people experimenting with those, and those, especially edibles, like I can't tolerate edibles at all. I have to smoke cannabis.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I'm just noticing just recently with some new consumers that I'm helping. The tiniest amount of THC in a gummy sent them on a little bit of a spin, a bit of greening out there where they felt floaty and whatnot. And we're talking less than 1%.
Yes.
So, for those people, they would never smoke it. Maybe I could convince them to vape, but they don't like that. But I really
they don't want to.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially you see that in elderly people, is their focus more so, it seems to be on the oils and the edibles. The smoking is less appealing for a lot of different reasons. Health issues, perhaps living like in, senior homes. Strap laws. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's like the oil is allowing users to be compliant neighbors, let's just say.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because my building just became smoke-free. So,
oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I stayed at my mom's condo for a few months in the summertime in Abbotsford, and she was in, the area is it's not that great. It was a cute area. It had a restaurant, so you just assume that in the parking lot people are going to be smoking, be it cigarettes or cannabis, and there's drinking happening, right? And where her condo is the building, and I had to, and she's a smoker as well, to smoke anything, you have to walk off the property and onto the sidewalk. And she's a medical user as well, right? She suffers from rheumatoid arthritis, and so for her to have to walk and go,
she should be legally exempt from that smoking ban, right? If she's a legal patient. Or the thing is, there's a lot of us using it medically that aren't legal patients.
Well, and that's just it. She's never been registered as a medical patient, no. And actually, neither have I.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that this is a really good point to make, that whether you're legal or whether you're using it medicinally, to me, it doesn't matter. You know, what legality does is give you extra rights, you know, so that's why I always push for that. But I really think that so many people who use it under the adult use label are using it because it makes it feel better.
I'm sure people could relate to this, is that when you're in like a state of, like, say, depression, or you're suffering mentally, the thought of doing all of that paperwork, like, for me, I'm just like, oh man, oh right, shoot, I should have done that. Oh, I didn't get it done, and then I just procrastinate and forget about it, and then it seems like such a burden, and I know it's not, but
see, this is the thing. You just segued to the exact next point that I wanted to make, which was in clinic. It's ridiculous how stressful it is for people. It is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm also trying to push these video Skype doctors, because my dad, when he was alive, he got legal sitting at the kitchen table in his favorite chair at the spot where he has eaten dinner for the last 50 years of his life.
Oh, so, yeah. When we first opened up our dispensary in Abbotsford a few years ago, we actually did have a Skype doctor, which was really neat. Yeah. It didn't last very long, but...
No, and I see my doctor by Skype, and it's not great, but it is what it is until we get better at it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it.
Back to the edibles versus inhalables. So one of the things that I herald and I push out there is the DIY. Anything they can do, we can do too.
I love your feeds about that, and if you don't follow Dianna on Twitter, you need to, because she helps so much with the do-it-yourself. Yes. You do. You want to be in an environment that is, you know, that you're safe, because that's one thing a lot of people experience, right, is like that anxiety. Yeah. And so just knowing that you're safe. Yeah. Anyways, carry on. Sorry.
No, perfect point. And I think, so recently I've helped 2 people who took too much too soon. And it wasn't a disaster, but they felt floaty. So that's a word that new users use to explain the feeling, right? I'm pretty sure that the main thing that helped both of those people was me there to say, okay, no, that's okay, no. And I said to the one, so is your mind, are you having lots of thoughts that are surprising? Oh my goodness, so many thoughts. And then they disappear. So to pinpoint that, that's happening and that's supposed to happen, and isn't that a cool thing? You know, like, because the first time I used, I was like, it awakens the brain.
Oh, exactly. And you just have to be open, and you just have to listen to its message, right? I always say that. I always think, okay, I'm going to learn a lesson right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm about to learn a lesson. Yeah.
Well, and that's a good point. So maybe it does help the mind to be more open to other ideas. Growing my own really does help me to it gives me power, and I think there's therapy in the predictability with a lot of the stuff that you do when you grow your own, you know, like knowing that if I do this to this plant, in 10 days it's going to start to flower. Like, there is therapy there. How much control do we ever have? None.
Oh my gosh. Well, and no, you're growing your medicine, right? It's, I have yet to grow my own, which is so embarrassing. But I've been on the move, and now that I'm settled, I have access to a little grow tent, and so I think I'm gonna finally grow my own plant.
Yes. Yay!
I know. It'll be fun to share that. I think. I am nervous.
Well, that's it for the show today, friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. Miranda, what a great conversation we had.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dianna. That was wonderful.
Let's meet back next week, and we're going to talk about terpenes.
Oh, I can't wait. My favorite part of cannabis plant. Most plants. All plants.
Yes, lots of herbs have our terpenes in them, and so that's terrific. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.